Oh yes, how about this for a bit of nostalgia? The reassuring whir of the 8-track motor. There's another name that's gone, realistic. This unit was made by Soundesign sometime in the early 70s, I should think. It's full of discrete components. There are only microchips in there. The track selector lamps are lamps, not LEDs, of course. I'll tell you what, it still sounds good, this thing. Used to be able to get all sorts on 8 tracks. Classical, pop, I've got the Beatles, and this obviously Simon and Garfunkel. And if you bought an enormous machine made by Iowa, I think it was, among others, you could record on these. Now that must have been a bit of a black art, I should think, because inside these tapes is one spool of tape, and it's endless. It's joined up by a length of alloy tape. When the alloy tape eventually passes an electrode inside here, it causes the head to move up or down to select the next track with a nice satisfying electromechanical clunk. So none of these machines had any indicator as to how much recording time you'd got. Would have been very difficult to arrange, I should have thought. You'd be right in the middle of recording something and ka-chunk. Some of the editing on even these pre-recorded tapes is pretty dire with regards to that. There's no elegant way to shut them off. You just pull the tape out, and inside there on the left you can just see the little brass coloured thing. That's the electrode that does the head. The shiny thing to its right is the head itself, and then to the right of that again is the capstan drive. And in the case of this one, it's a 13-volt mechanism, so probably the same sort they used in car ones at the time. Used to find them in things like Ford Cortina Mark III's, that sort of age. Certainly nothing much newer, because although these sounded better than some cassette decks on offer when they were first done, the cassette rapidly overtook them because it was so much easier to use. And of course it had a rewind, which these don't. Some had a fast forward, and that just played it back at twice the speed. That was as fast as you dared to go, really, given the spool of tape inside. I think I'm right when I say it used to wind itself from the middle, go through the heads, and then down onto the outside, and then gradually wind itself back in again. Well, this one can also be used as an amplifier. There's an input for a record deck on the back, so I might give that a go one day. Stereo headphones, it sounds rather good like that. It's better like that than through these little speakers. They're not really good enough, I suppose. Although again, it depends on what you use them with. Underneath is the circuit diagram for it, and it's all discrete components. There aren't any chips in there. It's far too elderly for that. Anyway, something different and a bit of nostalgia for the 70s fans out there. See you again soon.